Hello and welcome to another Lemons video. It's been about a month since our last video and we have made significant progress on the car. Since we last left off, I talked about what we planned on doing and what had to be done before the race in September. We are about halfway through May and on track to finish it before September. Our current task is to finish the roll cage, which we're about halfway through, and it may seem like not much has happened since last time I showed this model, but quite a bit has been done.
Plates done.
Most of what time since now and then was the roll cage needing to be measured over and over and over again, as we are restricted by the roll cage. We are currently balancing the rules in our cage and the geometry of the car and the height of our drivers, as the helmet needs to be 2 inches below the top of the hoop with the helmet on, in compliance with the rules. Because most of our drivers are not really small, we've been devising solutions and ways to increase the height of our roll cage while within the rules and making it still structurally sound.
Okay. Well, it's been some time and I don't know how much time our videos are going across. I'm very tired. I worked late last night. Anyway, as you can see, the main hoop is just tack welded in. We got some tacks here, but what we didn't record was fabricating these higher mount boxes. These are made out of 3/16 plate, and you can see the burn weld in the middle, so there's a support gusset that's in the center of this to support this on top of this box. So we've gained 3 inches. Now, why did we do that? We found out that one of our drivers is 6'2", and little Miata, not a good combination, because our rules for the league that we're racing in, the top of the driver's helmet has to be 2 inches below the top of the roll bar. So, or roll cage, not necessarily the bar, but the roll cage. So we have to mount our cage higher to compensate for our tall driver. So that's what we did the last 2 days, working on getting these boxes built. It's not as easy as it looks because there's a lot of shape, and these walls are not vertical, they're at a slant. Same with this wall, it looks vertical but it's not. So I had to shape this metal to meet the contours of the wall. Same with the triangle piece, the top mount had to get shaped to the contours of the walls, and that took a lot of time. Like I said, I'm not a fabricator, so I'm doing my best, but we got both sides done, and then the welder just tacked in the roll bar just to hold it in place. Back to work, in the famous words of Mike Patey. If you don't know who he is, look him up, but back to work.
After much deliberation, planning, cutting, and other stuff, we are tacking in the final pieces of our roll cage. A lot of work still needs to be done before the roll cage is properly set, and as you can see from the model, this is where our roll cage currently sits at. Some of the joints are fully welded, while some of the others are tacked in. This helps us in many ways. We would tack something in, realize it needs to be readjusted, cut it, modify to what we need, then weld it back in. Because the roll cage is a kit, we can customize it to fit to our car and modify a little bit within compliance of the rules, allowing it to be much more comfortable than other available kits.
Okay, so looking at the instructions that came with our kit, this here is our main hoop, this is our seat back brace, and then our diagonal brace. The instructions are different because this is spec Miata cage and we are racing in 24 Hours of Lemons. The 24 Hours of Lemons requires that this be one piece, so that's why it's one piece on our car now. So this piece I'm going to have to cut and tack in and do it in 2 pieces. So that's where we're going to go next. if you want a whole view of the whole cage, well, here's a profile view. Passenger side, that's what our cage will look like. This is what we're going to work on today, this guy here. And get this oriented correctly for you. That's what the top view is supposed to look like. So this will be the front of the car, that's the back of the car, or excuse me, that's backwards. This is the front of the car, that's the back of the car. This is what we did a couple days ago, and 117 is what we did yesterday, and this bar here that goes this way, 115, that's what we're going to work on today. So back to work.
What you can also see here is that there is a new seat in place of the old one. This complies with the rule, and even though it may look uncomfortable for now, we will be adding padding and whatnot to the seat later. This also took a while, as we need to figure out the size of the seat. We did get the wrong size at first, but now that we have the correct size, we figured out how to securely fasten the seat to the car, while it also to be easily adjustable, taken out, and put back in for other modifications such as the seat belt later on.
Look at that. Not bad. Okay. I can still see.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the up position. That's how I normally drive, but this car, you've got to be further back.
Yeah, you slash them to really be.
All right, here. Hey, and welcome back. Another day of us building the Miata. We discovered some mistakes. Mistakes were made. I don't know how we missed it, but let's talk about what mistakes were made. First, our main hoop. Turns out there is a little bump out on that side, which is made for this side. So we have the main hoop on backwards. Joy! These are just, all the bars are just tacked in, so it's not a big deal, and it's just tacked in down at the bottom, so it won't take much to fix this problem. The other problem that we have is we have a really tall driver, which as previous, I don't know how this is being edited out, but we had to make our hoop really tall for our tall driver. And so to accommodate our tall driver, I had to get the seat as further back as possible, as furthest back as possible. And in doing so, our seat, our containment wing on the left-hand side is now hitting the roll bar, and it's forcing the seat to sit at an angle, and I'm going to do my best to try to fix that. Another problem that I have that was not recorded is I've mounted the seat belts, and the lap belt on the right hand side is smushed up against the transmission tunnel and the seat. So I've already cut some of the transmission tunnel out and reshaped it, put in additional metal to get it fitted. I'm probably gonna have to do some more to increase the space between the seat and the tunnel, which being this far back on the tunnel, the only thing that's there right now is just the drive shaft. So there's plenty of room to shrink that transmission tunnel down. So we'll probably do that. So that's what we're working on. That's what we're going to do today, is try to fix our mistakes and try to continue this project on. We race in September. This is currently May, and I'm only working on this on weekends to the best I can. It's like every other weekend right now as my work schedule and life schedule. So that doesn't give me many days to get this car up and going. The team has been helpful, but we're an area that only I can do, so that's why I'm jumping on this as much as I can. So stay tuned, and hopefully the next segment, or you can, either the next segment will have this fixed, or you'll see me fixing this. I don't know how that's gonna play out, but back to work. There we are. All right, well, another full day. Well, almost full day. I started about 12 and it's now 3:30. The seat has been mounted. I fabricated, well, first I welded up the floor because there was a hole in the floor that I had to weld up. Welded up the seat mounts and then fabricated new brackets using thicker steel so we don't have to worry about strength there. And then with the brackets, I drilled holes, mounted and welded nuts on the bottom of the bracket so we could just bolt the seat down. It was a good day. We got everything done that we had to do. And now we're waiting for the bars to be made. And when they're done, we can start working on the bars again. And I have to remount the anti-submarine belt. So this has been a good day. We've got a lot of progress done in the last 2 days. So good. We'll see you next time, and subscribe.
Overall, we are making great progress and our cage is about 50% complete. We will see you next time when it is ready and fully welded in, or if something significantly happens between now and then. So we will get back to work and see you next video.